Yeah, I mean, it's we see here you talk about when you first started. It was Yellow Pages, wasn't it?
That was our BD.
That was BD. Yeah.
Well, we didn't even have a computer when I first started.
Exactly, yeah.
We bought one. It was a Viglin. I don't know if they exist anymore. They probably don't.
Viglin.
And we got it out of the box and we switched it on. There were only three of us in the business at the time, with our desks all squashed up together. You could smoke in those days, and I smoked. I don't smoke anymore, but I smoked. Then we had a big ashtray sat in the middle. And we got the computer out and we switched it on, and there's this big black screen, this white flashing dot. No idea what to do with it, so we switched it off and put it back in the box again. But at least we could say we're computerised.
Yeah.
And then the Yellow Pages was a massive directory, which you found your removals companies, your plumbers, electricians, and all the rest of it. But also you found lots of companies that you recruit for. The biggest thing for us was actually a different directory called BRAD, British Rates and Advertising Data. And one of my most humiliating but funniest sort of moments, I suppose, was when sometimes at recruitment you don't have to be hugely intelligent, and I wouldn't classify myself as the brightest bunny in the hutch. And sometimes it can come quite simply. You still got to use your skills and everything, but it can come quite simply. And as much that I used to always look in the back of trade magazines at the appointments pages, because that's basically the business development for a recruiter, because all companies advertise their positions. That was the competition. It wasn't other recruitment companies, so to speak. And I'm probably now talking about the late 80s, so around about 1988. So this is before I started Aspire. So I've been in recruitment since 1986. So and in Campaign magazine, the appointments pages, there was a big ad, and it was International Thompson Business Publishing. The magazine was called Construction News that was advertising. It wanted an advertising sales representative. At the time, I recruited salespeople. I didn't specialise in media, and but I could work out. That's obviously selling advertising. And funny enough, we were recruiting at the time for Yellow Pages. People were recruiting ads in Yellow Pages and various other directories. So anyway, so I rang the guy up. Adrian Bailey I've forgotten his name, the publishing director or publisher. Rang him up and said, "I'm your man, I can help solve the problem. What are you looking for?" And he said, "Well, fine, but I want someone who sold ads and who's knows something about construction." And I thought, okay, what about this, what about that? He said, "No, I need those two. I need those two things." I said, "Fair enough." And told him what the money was. We agreed the commercial terms. And literally that afternoon, a guy called Derek Coombs walked into my office, who I'd contacted about another job. And he had just got back from the Gulf, where he'd been selling, I think it was called Black Pages, which was basically their definition of Yellow Pages. And before that, he'd been a site manager in construction. So even I could add up these two, worked in construction and then sold advertising. Well, that's what this guy Adrian Bailey wanted. And when I said to Derek, what's he looking for, blah, 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 and he said he wanted to actually move into more mainstream publishing, which this was. This is magazine publishing. Construction News was probably is a digital version now, but a weekly Bible for the construction industry. So he knew it. Actually the title very well, so he's very excited about working on it. Rang Adrian Bailey up, so they got a guy. He said, "When can I see him?" I said, "This afternoon." He's with me now. He was literally sitting with me. So Derek went over, had one interview, got the job, started. So you're probably wondering what's funny about that. Well, nothing. What's humiliating about that? Nothing. What happened next was I said to Adrian when he said the offer, and we dealt with all that. I said, "Right. So who else is looking?" And he said, you want to try Steve Tucker at Building Journal, I think it was, or was another title that was associated with this group. I said, great. I said, I'll do it. He said, well, you said, you can get everything from Brad. And I went, yeah, terrific. And he said, look, I've got to go. Fine, so put the phone down. So I picked the phone back up, and there was no direct dialing those days. There was the reception. So I rang through the reception. I said, yeah, can I speak to Brad, please? And they said, we haven't got a Brad. I said, no, you have. I just spoke to Adrian Bailey. He said to speak to Brad. He said he wants me to speak to Steve Tucker, but not until I've spoken to Brad, got all the information from Brad. And they went, no. Put me through to Steve Tucker. And I thought, what? not calling it. Thank you very much. I'll just check this with Adrian. Obviously misunderstood. So I rang him back and got hold of him. I said, I've just rung reception. They haven't got a clue who Brad is. And he started laughing. I said, what? What's funny? Well, Brad actually stood for something called British Rates and Advertising Data. It was a directory, and it was a who's. It was fantastic. It was listed every magazine, every TV station, radio station, outdoor poster company, every regional newspaper, national newspaper, anything, special interest magazine, who the company was, telephone numbers, who the people who worked on it, and it was like, bingo. Yeah. I've just found a marketplace, and that's actually how I started specialising in the media industry.
Wow, that's great to know that.